Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. You're welcome to Decenstitch. If you're a new subscriber or returning subscriber, you're welcome. Please kindly like, share, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you. All through the video I'll be referring to this paper as my fabric. So to start cutting the dress, I'm going to fold this into two. Measurement needed is 6.5, so I'm going to fold just what I need, because we always have to manage our fabric. So I need just 6.5 inches. Up here I'm going to leave about 1 inch. And draw my starting line. From the starting line, I'm going to measure. From the starting line, I'm going to measure the armhole depth line, 5 inches. This line is going to be my shoulder line. So from here, I'll measure again my bust point length, 6 inches. From the shoulder line again, I'll measure my waist length, 11 inches. Then I'll measure from the waistline. From the waistline, I'll need to measure my hip length. The hip length is 5.5. Note, I'm measuring the hip length from the waistline, not from here. Finally, from the shoulder, I'm going to measure the dress length, which is 25 inches. Now I'm going to connect the dots. This is my dress length. This is the waistline. This is the hip line. This is the waistline or waist length. This is my bust point length. And this is my armhole depth line. This is my center front, and it's going to be on fold. Three inches for the neck width, and the shoulder needed here is 5 inches. Now I'm going to connect the dots. The next thing is to get my neckline for the front. The neck depth I'll be using 3.5 inches because according to the picture the neckline is not wide, it's a very small neckline, or you can make yours as wide as you want it. So I'm going to be drawing a round neckline here. From the center front here, from the fold, I'm going to measure then I'm going to draw, then I'll measure 5 inches also on the armhole depth line. And draw a straight line. I'm going to be slanting the shoulder by half an inch because this distance is very short, so I won't be able to use 1 inch as we normally use. Then I'll locate the middle of this. I have 4.5. The middle is around 2.25. Then from the middle I'll go in by half inch and draw my armhole. The next thing is to measure my bust line. The bust is 6.5 inches. The waist is 5.25, but I won't be needing the waist, so I'll be using the bust 6.5, and then the hip is 6.5. Remember, this is your fabric. I'll be measuring, so I'm going to fold 5 on the dress length line too, because I'm going to be making it straight to try and get what I need, the wideness I need. Okay, this is wide enough. So to get the back piece, I'm going to be using the front piece to cut the back piece. They are the same shape, the same thing. The only difference is the neck depth, which I'm going to correct on this new fabric that we folded. I'm going to pin. The next thing I'm going to do is to add my seam allowances. On the neckline, I have half inch. Also, I'm not putting any zip allowance on the back because the shift dress is free on the body. Even when the bust is slightly fitted on the shoulder when you're wearing it, so you don't really need allowance zip at the back. So that is why I'm putting this straight to the edge and not creating any space for zip. Then the armhole, half inch seam allowance. I'm going to mark 1 inch from the top here and use a ruler to get a straight line there. Then I'm going to draw the neckline for the back. Then I'm going to cut off the fabric. Then for the side seam, I'm going to have 1 inch on the side. Then the dress length, I'm going to have 1.5. This is my center or 2 inches, and it's also a fold. This is the back piece, and this is the front piece. You can see the neckline difference. My front piece is ready. Now I'm going to add I will have to measure the armhole on my dress. I'm measuring this line because this is the original measurement, while this one is the seam allowance. So I won't be measuring here for this because I'm not yet at the seam allowance part. So that is why I'm measuring here. We're going to assume this is our fabric once again, and we're going to fold in total again. I'm going to fold the width I need because I don't like wasting fabric. I have 7 here. The round arm is 4.5. Let's say plus seam allowance 1 inch, that's 5.5. So I can fold this by 6 inches. This is how we manage our fabric. So I have it folded. I'm going to measure 1 inch up here because of my seam allowance. So I'm going to leave 1 inch up here. So the next thing I'm going to measure is my slope depth. The slope depth I'm going to be using is 2.5. Then before I cut this out, I'm going to fold this once more.
You can use
so I can have 2.5, but I like using 2.5. It's good to cut.
It gives me
a
more
time to
make
make
it
it
work
work
faster.
So then
I've
the
folded
elbow
the fabric
length
again
for the sleeve,
so I can have 1, 2.
then I'm going to cut it out. It's 7.5. I won't be using 7.5 because I want the joining on the sleeve to be slightly above the elbow. So instead of 7.5, I can use 7 inches. The wrist length of the sleeve is 15 inches because of the style we are making. That is why I'm using 7
And
inches.
we have
I would
used
7 inches
direct
to make this.
But when you have a join
So
in
we
here,
have
it restricts your
some inches
movement.
left. That is what we're going to
You
use
don't
to make
feel
the remaining
as
part of the
comfortable.
table. The part
So
with
I
the
like to
plates.
come up slightly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 inches left. We'll be using 8 inches. I'm going to connect my dots. Then label this as my sleeve. I can use my round elbow times 2. So 2 of this is what I'm going to use for the wideness here.
Elbow length.
You can use what
This
you
is
want.
slope
If it's too wide for you, you can
depth.
reduce it. If you want it bigger, you have to eat. The next thing to do is to get my round arm. My round arm is 1 inch up 5 for seam allowance. My round elbow is 4 inches. I'm supposed to fold this fabric into 2. So the next thing to do is to get my slope for the sleeve. To get my slope, I get the midpoint of the 4.5, that's 2.25. I put a dot straight up. Then the 2.5 inches for my slope depth, I get the midpoint also. That's 1.25. I put a dot. So where this dot and this dot meet, which is here, that is where I'm going to use to draw the crown of my sleeve. Remember the first sleeve we used 7 inches, so the remaining is 8 inches. So that is the 8 inches I'm using here for my length. The 8 inches I'm using here is my elbow, round elbow times 2. My round elbow in this case is 4 inches. So times
This
2,
is
according to
about
the calculation, the round elbow I need is 4 inches times 2, that is 8 inches. The round elbow, when I open this up, it's very close. So I'm going to confirm 8 plus 8. So the full length of this, if I don't have 6 here, I'll adjust it 16 inches. But let's go ahead. I'm going to add my seam allowances. I have 5.5 here. Up here, I need, so I'm going to mark 6 inches to tidy the edge. That is where I'm going to use. Then I'll connect that. If you won't be using lining, you can use 1 inch. So you can fold ½ inch by ½ inch and connect this. But because lining will be used to tidy this, ½ inch is okay. While the side here, my sleeve is ready. Now I'm going to add my, then the hem of this allowance is round it. For the, I'm going to add slope line 1.5. I'm going to have a 0.5 seam allowance. While for the side seam, I'll be having 1 inch. For this place, I'm going to be having ½ inch. Just ½ inch because something else will be attached here later on. Then I'll connect this. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.